Now, the start of the movie Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. Batman is extremely vengeful. Batman is extremely violent and just wants to hurt the criminals. Now, what this does in the long run for Batman is not solve all the crimes, not solve all the, psychology in the atmosphere. It just causes more and more people to prop up, more and more villains and criminals to prop up, just like the Riddler. The Riddler was inspired by Batman. He was inspired so much that he undertook so many violent steps and dedicated all his criminal activities in such a manner. When Batman realizes what he had done so far was causing more trauma, was causing more hurt to the environment of Gotham. At the end of it, during the flood, Batman rather saved the drowning individuals than hunting down the criminals and finally beating them. That showed growth. That showed that Batman realized that vengeance is not it. Hope and responsibility is.
Now, within these points, you can see that Bruce isn't trying to save Gotham at the start. He's trying to punish it because every night what he does is very less about justice and more about feeding the wound left by his parents' murder. That particular cowl that he wears is not just a symbol of hope right now, not yet. It's an armor of a very, very sad man, of a grieving man. Because you see, fear can stop a mugging. It can't stop corruption. It can't stop poverty. It can't stop people from believing that the city is already lost. Gotham doesn't suffer because its criminals aren't afraid. It suffers because everyone from the politicians to everyday ordinary citizens, they stopped believing that things could actually get better, that things could improve. And this is where Batman gets afraid, is when the Riddler shows this particular act that he does and he dedicates it to the Batman, saying that we're on the same side. The Riddler doesn't really misunderstand Batman completely. He simply follows the philosophy set by Batman to an extremely logical, to a logical extreme. And if vengeance, I beg your pardon, is justice, then why stop at criminals? This makes Batman very, very horrified. Because heroes don't just inspire heroes, they inspire, imitators like criminals. For the first time, Batman is very horrified. Bruce Wayne is very horrified because of this particular fact that heroes don't just inspire heroes, they inspire imitators. For the first time, Bruce had to ask whether or not his methods work, but to ask what message they send.
People often overlook this particular part about Batman. In the initial stages of the movie, Batman realizes or thinks that this part about him makes it okay for him to be violent. Just because he's willing to sacrifice, just because he's gone through all that pain, makes him believe that he can do whatever he wants. His violence is justified. Until he met the man Riddler. In the movie, Riddler was introduced to challenge this. He saw the same pain in Riddler. And he saw destruction that was way worse. That's where Batman realized that just because you are in pain does not make it okay to do whatever you want or take any means necessary to achieve your goal and cause suffering to the, anybody, to the villains. Even they are humans, and you have to do it absolutely properly.
And that's why Batman became so disturbed when he met the Riddler. He saw what an individual would be, what his philosophy would be without empathy. He was not looking into the eyes of a stranger. He was looking at a distorted reflection of himself. Riddler follows the same emotional logic. Batman started with, I was hurt, the world is guilty, someone has to make it pay. The difference isn't who suffered more, it's what they choose to do with their suffering. Batman finally understands that pain isn't a compass. It can't tell him where justice, ends and revenge begins. His trauma is the reason he is Batman, but it is not the reason why he must stay Batman. So, Batman in the end finds purpose. He is not the individual who stops carrying his pain, but he stops treating it as a thing that, well, guides him. Instead of wounds, instead of him letting his wounds decide who deserves to suffer, he chooses to become someone who helps others survive their wounds.